Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
And a special Friday, too, as we head into Memorial Day weekend. A 3-day weekend Friday that we're here on. So,
smooth.
Welcome to it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's why I'm on the radio, because I have a way with words.
That was good.
Welcome, Jeffy, who continues to languish in his home and doesn't leave.
Languish. Yeah, that's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, languish.
I'm a wordsmith. We've already established that. I got a way with words, man. Mm-hmm. So how's
day 71?
71?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're good.
We're going on, well, in 3 weeks. It'll be 3 months.
You're a mathematician, too.
Yeah, thank you. So you've been holed up for over 2 months, and are we sick of it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you really? For real?
The answer to that is yes. Yeah, for real. I mean, it's nice and everything, but every so often, I got to get out. What am I doing?
Yeah. Have you
and
been?
I think that's being proven all over the country, right? I mean, we can't live this. We just can't.
Yeah, everybody's sick of it. Everybody's tired of it. And I think if they were to start another shutdown, I think there'd be a revolt.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think people would be out in the streets, and I think they didn't ignore the mandates. And then it would be ugly, because then you got cops arresting people, and who knows.
Have you caught up on all your shows there, Jeffy? I mean, is anything in the queue, or are you pretty much caught up now?
I think I'm pretty much caught up. I went back and I've even went back and watched a couple of shows that I had watched before. I thought I'll watch them again.
Oh, okay. Well,
just sat through a few shows with with my father-in-law. I said, "Oh, you haven't watched this one? All right, I'll watch this with you."
Well, you know, Elmo has got a talk show coming up on HBO.
I know, on HBO Max.
You're gonna enjoy that, aren't you?
Look forward to it. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's like a permanent one, like one that happens more than once.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah,
no
part
way.
Part of their original programming on HBO Max, and they've already listed, the commercials are out, the promos are out. It opens up at the end of
May 27th.
Yeah, this month, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I'm looking forward.
He'll have guests apparently that include Casey Musgraves, which I don't know who Casey Musgraves is, the Jonas Brothers, John Mulaney, Lil Nas X, one of my favorite Nas's. I like Nas X better than Nas 1 IV, which was 4, and then there was IX, which was 9. I liked 4 and 9 better than 10.
Oh, I see.
Miles Brown, Blake Lively, Dan and Shay, Andy Cohen. Hoda Kotb is going to be on. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Now I'm interested. Josh Groban, Olivia Wilde, Sarah Bareilles, or Bareilles, or however you pronounce her name. Jason Sudeikis will be there. Sophia Carlson. And Ciara. What a lineup. Are you kidding me? Well, it's because Elmo's such a star in his own right that everybody wants to hang and be interviewed by him, and everybody knows about his interviewing skills.
Yeah. Will you be allowed
world-renowned.
to tickle him if you're a guest?
I don't know.
Or is that awkward?
It seemed to be a little awkward, especially in this social distancing age, but I guess we'll see. Oh, by the way, today's Pat Gray Unleashed is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity shouldn't be public. Protect yourself at expressvpn.com/unleashed. So I don't think we talked about the fact that the entire series is out there now. So did you see The Last Dance in its entirety?
No, not yet. In fact, I clicked on it last night and I was too tired. I couldn't start it. But it is out there. It's ready to rock and roll. I just haven't got to it yet. So that's a weekend view this weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty bingeable because they go down smooth. It's fun. They're good episodes. Yeah. And they're certainly one-sided. They're making Michael Jordan look pretty darn good, even though he was kind of an a-hole to his teammates, apparently.
Well, he's Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah. So it's to be on it's understandable because, that kind of genius, they deserve to be pissed off at everybody around them. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So we're getting closer and closer to real sports. The NHL has their proposal coming out with the 24 playoff teams. And I saw that Sunday, I'm looking forward to this at 3 p.m. Eastern. You've got Michael Jordan, Phil Mickelson. I'm Michael Jordan. Listen to me. You guys were talking about The Last Dance. You got Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady playing golf together, like 2 teams of 2. I don't know. Do you know the pairings on that, Jeffy? Do you know?
I do not.
Okay.
No, I do not.
But I'm looking forward to that. 18 holes of those 4 guys. And,
That'll be
it's
exciting.
Live sports.
Watching. Oh yeah, but the NCAA did say that they're okaying June 1st.
I was just looking for that story because it's over here somewhere. The NCAA is allowing teams to get back to work June 1st, which is
it's up
a week from Monday.
Though, right? It's up to the schools now.
I suppose, but what school isn't going to do that? Because you got to keep up with every other school, right?
I know.
So if anybody does it, everybody's going to do it. Nobody's going to want to be behind that curve.
That's the problem. We have too much show, Pat. It's hard to find it all on the fly.
So, somewhere in this pile, resumption of voluntary team activities in Division I football and basketball. Mm-hmm. That is great because with all the talk to the contrary, this gives you a little bit of hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I forgot, was it the Ohio State president? Somebody said, like, it wasn't a matter of if we're going to have fans, but it's how many fans we're going to have.
Oh, they're going to allow a certain amount of fans?
Yeah, let me find that.
In the stadium.
They're going to have to. But the athletic director from Ohio State had mentioned that they're going to allow the voluntary workouts to resume June 8th, pending university approval. So, again, Pat, you're probably right. Who's going to say no?
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe there's going to be, the SEC's got all the leagues are having their Zoom meetings this week.
Yeah,
or the first part of next week. So good luck.
I think once the number crunchers realize how much money will be lost with empty stadiums, because I saw that the NFL said that if we have empty stadiums all season long, we will lose collectively $5.5 billion.
I would bet that it's probably even more than that, right? I mean, it's just a massive amount of money.
Sure is.
And the trickle down of that is devastating to the economy.
And again, for instance, BYU's first game is against Utah. So if BYU goes back to workouts on June 1st, do you think the godless animals are just going to sit there? No, they're not. Right. they're gonna have to practice, right? They're godless animals.
I think we already know the godless animals have already been sneaking practices in as it is.
Right. That's exactly right. So the minimum football game attendance requirement for FBS schools will be set aside for 2 years because obviously you got to maintain a certain amount of attendance in your stadiums. Otherwise, you're not D1 quality. Right. They're going to put that aside because they'll be limiting the number of people on purpose. Normally, once every 2 years on a rolling basis, FBS schools must average at least 15,000 in actual or paid attendance for all home football games.
That's a small number.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's not tough to. Hopefully, that's not difficult to exceed.
You can't meet that. You really don't deserve to be it.
That's for sure. So they'll also be required to play 60% of their games against FBS schools or play 5 home games against FBS teams this season. That's not going to be a problem. They've got all kinds of alternative schedules in the works right now. In a variety of sports, including the fall sports of soccer, women's volleyball, field hockey, D1 schools will not be required to play the usual percentages of their schedules against other D1 schools. And the other thing is minimums related to the number of scholarships and or the amount of scholarship money that FBS schools must award were waived for 3 years.
Wow.
That's surprisingly generous, I think.
That sure is.
From the NCAA. They don't usually do that kind of stuff. Wow. This will help athletic programs facing financial problems, but gender equity requirements and NCAA rules that can limit schools' ability to cancel or not renew will remain in effect. Oh, good. Okay, so we have that going for us.
Yeah. I want to cancel that.
No, you've got to obviously maintain the requirements that there must be a certain amount of women's sports, regardless of whether people are going to them or not. That doesn't even matter.
And aren't they technically women's sports now? They're not even really women's sports.
Yes,
anybody can play.
That's another point that we love to talk about back when things were so innocent and so pristine. Remember 2019? I mean, I know that's kind of a stretch to go back that far in your memory, but what good times those were. Good times. A simpler time.
So in order to celebrate when sports comes back, is now the time during this global pandemic and we can come together and I can maybe visit your house and watch one of these sporting events on your big screen TV? Would you be good with that? I mean,
I'm always good with that.
Okay.
If there were a way to get from your house to mine, it would be great, but there are no roads. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to remind you of that.
Okay.
But the roads have all been closed between my house and yours. If they were ever there to begin with, and I sort of tend to lean toward they were never there to start with. It's a strange phenomenon.
If they do get put in, I just have two words for you: social distancing. So
it's a really good point. Thank you, Jeffy.
Can't make it.
Okay, well.
I mean, we don't want to start killing people by getting too close to each other.
I mean, I don't want to invite myself, but, it would be nice just to kind of go over there and,
I agree.
Hang out and
I
stuff.
agree. If it were possible, it would be nice. It's just not possible. All right. We got this from Equus Limits 10. How funny is this Denny Hamlin mask? It's a mask that you could do. We have the photo of this that you can actually...
It's his face.
That's his face.
I love it.
He's got a mask of his face, and it fits right where his mouth would actually be. That's good.
Now
it's kind of fun.
Oh, okay. So that's what he looked like after he won. Okay, yeah, all right.
So he won Darlington.
All right. Well, I
great.
might wear a mask like that if it had my, mouth on it or something. That would just be another fun novelty thing.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to Costco on principle.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, unless I had a mask
They're going to
like
miss
that,
you. They're going to miss you, Keith. Like I miss you at my house. They're going to miss you at Costco.
Wait, I don't know
it's
what
going to be really tough.
How do I interpret that? There are roads to Costco from my house.
Well, that's good. That's good. I wish you could say the same thing about the roads between your house and mine. I really do. I really do.
Okay.
I really, really do. Now, ex-Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis, who is, by the way, black, he's comparing the Rooney Rule, which is that you have to at least interview one African-American, I believe, for every job opening in the NFL. He's saying that incentive proposal, he's comparing that to Jim Crow.
Yeah, this new one where they're basically trading draft picks for hirings.
That's so great. So, yeah, they're going way beyond the Rooney Rule. They're trying to fix the Rooney Rule because it hasn't brought enough minorities to the head coaching positions, I guess. They're not going to be happy until there are no white people in the NFL. You can't coach, you can't play, you can't be an assistant coach, you can't be in the front office, you can't even be the ball boy if you're white. Anyway, Lewis, who currently serves as co-defensive coordinator at Arizona State, said that changes to the Rooney Rule requiring more minority interviews would be a plus, but he added the compensation plan was a step in the wrong direction. It was offensive, definitely offensive. It was like having Jim Crow laws. I agree with that, and I'm surprised more African Americans haven't spoken out about that because it makes it look like, well, I mean, we have to bribe teams in order to hire blacks.
Yeah,
it's just that in itself is racist.
Yes, sure is.
Well, then he goes on to say how, who wants to be put in that position? The pressure of being a draft pick,
right.
And they're not going to stop here. They're going to say, wait, so we're only worth a third round pick? Really? Why aren't we?
Is that like when we were worth a third of a person?
Yeah, why aren't we
in the U.S. Constitution?
You hire a black GM, you get the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
Seriously, I mean, that's how this.
That's what would happen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, again, we found out yesterday they tabled that particular possibility. At least it won't happen this year.
You need to take it off the table and put it in the garbage.
Yep. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got this really informative video on how to discipline bad employees.
Oh, no.
Like in a Zoom meeting, there's a couple employees apparently that have been acting up.
Okay.
And so their manager was instructing them. Here's
Right,
what
guys,
happened.
thanks for joining us. Just keen to have a chat about where we are, the situation at the moment. I think you're both there. Olive,
There's
hi,
Olive.
Thanks for joining us. Mabel, you are connected,
No.
but you need to start your video. Down at the bottom
Mabel?
of the screen, a little. It's a camera. It looks like a biscuit. If you just nudge it with your nose, you should.
It's like a biscuit.
You don't have to be so close. If you want to move back a bit. Right. So basically, an update as to where we are. I can see you both look worried, but the good news from head office is that neither of you is going to be furloughed, but we have to try and repay that loyalty with some of our own. I know that's supposed to be a strength of yours. So what we're looking for, what management are looking for, are ideas. Sorry, Mabel. This is one of the things that we have to address, the lack of focus at times, because, there's the inappropriate stuff with Kevin the Doberman from accounts as well, but one thing at a time. So there are things that we have to try and improve on.
One thing at a time.
Well, I'm uncomfortable with the chat as well. But
Nope.
Mabel, you switched off the camera again. Can you switch it back on? You switch the video? Right, there we are. Okay, the annual report. You pretty much ruined the sofas. 913 squirrels chased, none caught, so not a good return. So again, things to... Sorry, Mabel, if you're going to do that, could you just switch off the video function again so we don't have to see it? Right, while Mabel's away, Olive, good news, you will be receiving a small bonus for slightly better behaviour. Okay, Mabel, we'll have a chat in a minute. I'm going to put you on mute so I can talk to Olive. Right, Olive, I've got a message from management, which I have to read out. You're a good dog. Yes, you are. Who's a good dog? You're a good dog. I'm glad it makes you happy. Okay, well, you just keep up the good work, and thanks for joining us. I'll see you on a walk.
See you on a walk.
Mabel. So if you could just take a bit of an example from Olive and follow her lead. Are you falling asleep while we're having this chat? This is all part of the problem that we've got to sort. She's gone. She's gone. Unbelievable. We should sack her. We should definitely sack her. She didn't get such good results.
That's good.
That's pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Well done.
All right. If you have a dog like Mabel, or Olive, either one of them, you want to treat your dog really well, and you want to give him the best that's out there. That's why if you're feeding your dog dry dog food, the manufacturers of that food sterilize it when they make it. And that means because it has to last for 2 to 3 years on the store shelf. So that means all the good stuff in it is killed. That's where Rough Greens VitaSmart comes in. It's not dog food. It's a healthy supplement that puts back into your dog's food all of the healthy things that should be there. The nutrients, the probiotics and prebiotics, everything your dog needs to allow it to be able to focus, unlike Mabel, who is obviously not receiving Rough Greens VitaSmart, but perhaps Olive was. My dog absolutely loves this stuff. You just take a scoop and you mix it in with the food. They'll gobble it up, and then they'll become like puppies again. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge today for just $14.95 and see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive again, just go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Interesting story about Stacey Abrams, who has been rumored to be among those being considered for a vice presidential pick by Joe Biden, which wouldn't make any sense. But the Babylon Bee is reporting that Abrams has said illegal immigrants are now no longer able to elect any. No, she actually said this.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
This is not from the Babylon Bee.
Okay, so we have a Babylon. Now, this is perfect because we have an actual Stacey Abrams story.
Yep, actual story.
And we have video of Stacey Abrams, but if you flipped a coin, you wouldn't be able to tell which was which, Babylon Bee or reality.
Which is what we were saying a few days ago. The Babylon Bee almost shouldn't exist anymore because the actual stories are more stupid than what's coming out of the the parody site Babylon Bee. Here's what she said. Check this out.
You can eliminate anyone who is not a citizen, meaning someone who's a resident, a green card holder, or undocumented. What you're left with then in the United States today is that 50% of the population under the age of 15 is communities of color. If you remove them from the calculation, then what that means is that you create a whiter and therefore more Republican voting base. And under the Constitution, if they are not counted as part of the population, you are not committing discrimination if you don't include them in the drawing of those lines, which means a school board that has a predominantly Latino population in Arizona, but a number of those kids are undocumented or their families are, they are now no longer able to elect anyone who represents them because of the way the lines are drawn. Good. This weaponization is not only intentional, it is continuous.
Right. Yeah, it is intentional. I guarantee you it's intentional that people are trying to stop non-citizens from voting. Her point is really, and again, not Babylon Bee, this is from her own mouth, illegal immigrants are now no longer able to elect anyone who represents them. I got news for you, Stacey. They've never been allowed to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeez. That is amazing. This could be your vice president and then president by, I don't know, next February because Joe Biden's not capable of fulfilling any kind of position that he would attain. Now, this is a story from the Babylon Bee.
Okay, so this one, not reality.
Also, about Stacey Abrams, she says she will step down as governor if she is asked to run for VP. Sitting at the governor's desk at the Georgia State Capitol, Stacey Abrams told reporters she would step down from her governorship if asked to run for vice president. If Biden asked me to run, I'll need to focus on that full time, she said. As much as I love running this great state, if the country needs me, I'll be there. A security guard patrolling the Capitol building then entered the governor's office. Come on, Stacey, time to go. How many times do we have to have this talk? Classic Greg, Stacey said, laughing. He's a real jokester. Anyway, yes, if Biden decides he is not a racist and wants me to run, I'll be there, giving my all to make sure we win the White House. Wow. It'll be tough, but I know the people of Georgia will understand why I need to leave them for a while to save this country. But really, the security guard said uncomfortably, you can't be here. Don't make me drag you out of here again.
Oh, wow. That's
really
good.
Funny.
Very funny because it's true. It's basically reality.
Yeah.
She believes herself to be the governor of Georgia right now.
She's delirious.
Just the insanity.
Which makes her the prime candidate for the Democratic Party.
No kidding. Kamala Harris and House Democrats introducing legislation to label the Chinese virus racist. So you can't call it that. If you do call it that, you're a racist.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Whatever.
Do we get noted if we call it that?
Yes, you will be noted.
Okay.
In a Wednesday Senate resolution co-sponsored by Mazie Hirono, Elizabeth Warren, and 23 other Democrat senators, lawmakers called on the chamber to condemn the terms as racist. The use of anti-Asian terminology and rhetoric related to COVID-19, such as the Chinese virus, Wuhan virus, and Kung flu, have perpetuated anti-Asian stigma, the resolution states. No, it's saying a region is not racist, and it's not a slam necessarily, any more than German measles is a slam against Germany. The resolution condemns all manifestations or expressions of racism, xenophobia, discrimination, anti-Asian sentiment, scapegoating, and ethnic or religious intolerance.
Man, you would think they would have a little something more to be worried about right now. But
no, they don't.
No,
they don't.
No, they got all the time in the world to mess around with this kind of nonsense. Jeez. 888-900-3393. Fortunately, some people are doing some valuable things with their time, like this person who put together the 404 error page.
Oh, on the Trump campaign website.
Trump website.
Yeah. So if you go to a web page, a URL, that does not exist, then you're greeted with a picture of a dopey Joe Biden.
This error message pops up. It appears you're as lost as me. And a photo of Joe Biden.
That is brilliant.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Fortunately, there are people with time on their hands who can do that. Joe Biden tweeted out that we need a president who believes in science yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day before? Then Mike Kennedy tweeted out, hey, Joe Biden, we need a president that knows that the digital age doesn't involve interns.
That's a thinking man's tweet right there.
Yeah, think about it. Go
That's
ahead,
a good
Jeffy.
one.
Think about it.
Seriously, think about it.
Oh.
Yep. Thinking man's
about
joke.
Biden talking about President Tweety. Did you talk?
Yeah. So
I mean,
ludicrous.
So
I mean,
bad.
just asinine.
It's like leave the nicknames to the professionals, Joe.
Yeah. I call him President Tweety. Ooh, that's powerful, Joe. That is some powerful,
Was that
mean-spirited stuff right there.
Right when the geese flying over were honking? Because that would have been too perfect.
They fail to get this money out to the folks who desperately need it to stay afloat. Is it incompetence? Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I called him President Tweety. Reopen the country, end of quote. How are we supposed to do that if you're sitting on the money small businesses need in order to stay alive? Stop tweeting about it. Get the money out to Main Street now. It's there. It's been passed.
We got it.
This pandemic is hitting everyone hard. We need serious, competent leadership now more than ever.
And I don't trust the guy back there.
There is so much going on in that between the President Tweety stupidity, the honking of the geese outside, and then the guy who appears behind him
and
outside.
And at the very beginning of that, if you want to play it again, I think he's quoting Trump, but he doesn't realize it as he's reading the teleprompter. He's lost. He thinks this is his line.
Oh, let's see
listen to this.
Yeah.
They fail to get this money out to the folks who desperately need it to stay afloat. Is it incompetence? Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I called him President Tweety. Reopen the country, end of quote.
Anyway, I think he was. I don't know. Whatever. But Joe being Joe.
I've seen it speculated that the guy behind him outside that stops and kind of performs for the camera for a second or whatever he's doing, taking a pose, he might be Secret Service.
He looks Secret Service.
Doesn't he look Secret Service?
He's not wearing a jacket or sunglasses.
Can you freeze it where he is? Because I think it's a gardener or somebody like that who's just wandering around in the back and catches himself in the frame.
I think whoever it is was carrying like a big old thing of paper towels or something is what it looked like. I mean, he was
like
not
a delivery person, maybe?
Yeah, he's not Secret Service.
Maybe somebody from Amazon?
Yeah.
He did not look like Secret Service.
If you can go to like the very last frame, Rob, he's carrying something that looks like he just got back from Costco.
Maybe he's a home health provider.
Keep going.
A home health provider. That would be very appropriate, wouldn't it?
Yes, is he a visiting angel there to see Joe? Oh no, man.
That would be appropriate, quite frankly. So maybe that is who
he's carrying toilet paper towels or something. He's got something big there in his hand.
That is not a Secret Service agent.
No way.
But in many stories, I saw them refer to him as a possible Secret Service agent. No, I don't think so.
I don't think I don't think the recruitment levels are quite that bad.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Oh man,
there's a lot of people in danger if that is a Secret Service agent.
I mean, he might be a Secret Service intern. Yeah, just go work with Joe. Just go be with Joe. Don't worry about it. He won't know.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. In pretty big surprise yesterday. Aunt Becky and her new guy that she dumped Uncle Jesse for, they pleaded guilty yesterday. They pled guilty, and she's going to do 2 months, pay a $150,000 fine. Her husband is going to do 5 months in jail and pay a $250,000 fine. What happened to we're innocent and the FBI was withholding information that they knew exonerated us?
Well, the judge shot it down, right? A couple of weeks ago, the judge said, no, that's okay. That was fine. No problem. You're not going to get it thrown out. What they did was fine. Don't worry about it. So the judge still has to accept the deal, right? They plead, I think, today. I think they go before the judge today.
Yeah, they do.
And he has, and then the sentencing is, the judge says thank you and walks away. Heaven forbid we sentence right now. But that will be later on. But he still has to okay it.
Do you know she faced 40 years in prison? 40 years
I know.
for giving $500,000 to a guy, and whether or not you thought it was an actual charitable donation to USC or not. So what? In the end, is that worth 40 years? No.
I know.
I mean, that's crazy.
And at some point, you and they're at it. Obviously, they just give up, right? The government wins. Okay, you got it. Because the last two charges that they threw on them at the end, saying we're going to throw these at you too, they're dropping those charges as well. So those two were just like the government saying, "See, we'll just keep adding stuff onto you." So they finally,
so there's no way out for them, and then they finally say, okay, for the love of heaven, we'll take the 2 months in jail. But they're getting hammered on Twitter for it. The hatred is just spilling out. Okay, so you lied for 2 years until you could get a better deal. Shut up.
No, that's not what happened at all.
It's not. It's the government has pressured them for so long over this weird thing.
Yes.
That they finally had to cave in and accept some time in jail. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It sure as heck is, man. I mean, it would almost been worth them, I don't know, just paying for the kids' college. Anyway.
Almost. Yes, almost.
Almost. I was looking like...
Let them go to Arizona State, because I think they got accepted there, too, didn't they? Go to Arizona State. It's not that bad. Jeez.
So she's hurting now, though, right? She's down her job is done. She's got no work.
Right, she's got no career.
She's only worth like $8 million. I don't know how she's going to get by.
Yeah.
And Mosimo is, the fashion industry has got him down to about 80 or 90 million. So I don't know how I don't know if he's going to get by.
How are you going to make ends meet from here on?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they could call Uncle Jesse, and with his rock star career,
I don't know.
Maybe Uncle Jesse will help.
I don't
He's
know.
probably still bitter from being dumped.
I'd still be pissed that she left.
I think that he is responsible for the trajectory that led her to this.
Really?
I mean, he was the bad influence, the leather jacket, the bad boy,
true.
and now look where it got her.
Right.
And meanwhile, her husband's going to be in prison and obviously not going to be able to wear those cool clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a sad ending here.
It's a sad story for Aunt Becky.
Yeah, I mean, he's the judge that Gorton is the judge that he's sentenced. I think 3 or 4 other people in this Operation Varsity Blues, and so he'll probably accept it and give them their 2 months and take their money. And I mean, and 100 hours of community service, and he has to do 250 hours. Okay, whatever. Becky serving soup at the bread line. All right, no problem.
It's an amazing story.
It sure is.
A really amazing story. And, her career is ruined. Who's going to hire her after this? Because if they hire her, whoever does that would get bludgeoned by the haters on Twitter until they'd have to completely take it back and fire her again. So, that's not going to happen. She's not going to work in Hollywood ever again, probably. Kind of a sad story.
I mean, the only way out to today's world is just to create her own content, right? And then hopefully the platforms don't get hammered for letting her air her own stuff.
Oh, and they would. I mean, the fascists out there don't want you to be able to do anything ever again. We were talking to John Ziegler yesterday about the Matt Lauer situation. Now, was he a dog? Was he a bad husband? I think you could say he definitely was, because he admits to
Which is what we
affairs.
talked about in the beginning, right?
Yes.
We talked about it in the beginning, and we talked about the consensual, it was the power thing, right, where they couldn't say no, which obviously we don't buy into.
Nope.
Yeah. But that was the deal, right? He was a dirtbag, but he wasn't.
He's a dirtbag. But does he deserve to have his career forever destroyed over it when he didn't rape anybody and he didn't even sexually abuse anybody that we know of? So, okay, he's into oblivion forever now. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens to people. Just plain gone. And it's politically incorrect to say that, but I don't think that people who have not even had their due process should be destroyed like this.
Yeah, so let's put it into perspective here. She's in California, right?
Yep.
So that state, she commits this crime and could face, what was it? I realize it's federal stuff.
40 years.
40 years. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, I was just sitting here just thinking, what is a crime that happened in California that we look at and we're like, wow, justice wasn't served there either, on the opposite end of the spectrum. And I was thinking of the Kate Steinle situation with the illegal immigrant who
guys let go.
Right, he's what?
Free as a bird. He murdered somebody, killed them, and he's scot free. There's the benefit of being an illegal alien right there, because you can't separate an illegal alien from their family. Now, Aunt Becky can be separated from her family, and so can Massimo or whatever his name is. Mm-hmm. They can both be separated forever from their families. Nobody cares about that.
And if this illegal immigrant had a daughter he wanted to get into college in the state of California, he would have gotten a reduced rate. And he wouldn't have had to find a backdoor way to get his child into college.
It's crazy when you think of it like that.
Man,
it's pretty amazing.
It sure is.
Frivolous Friday, everybody.
Welcome to it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a beautiful one in the morning time for a morning show this morning. By the way, traffic and weather together every 7 minutes on the force. All morning long this morning.
Thank you, Martin.
I think that's the actual sound.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, nice job.
Nice.
Wait, the sound of what? Joe Biden's backyard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Joe Biden's. Yes. All right. Nancy Pelosi on Donald Trump's behavior. He's like a kid with doggy doo on his shoes.
Oh yeah, she was asked about this back and forth on Twitter between Joe Scarborough and Donald Trump.
Yeah, and they're both ridiculous on this particular issue. Yes. But Nancy Pelosi is so ridiculous. It's like a child.
Follow this analogy. We've got the video. Let's see if we can follow this analogy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is.
He tweeted last Tuesday that he wondered if he'd gotten away with murder. He retweeted this morning about Psycho, as he calls him, Psycho Joe.
Are we talking about Joe Scarborough?
Yes. It's appropriate for the president to do that on Twitter.
Did you follow that?
No.
So everybody that
How
works
is it
with
like him coming in with doggy doo on his shoes?
I have listened to that clip so many times. I have no idea what she's trying to say. He has doggy doo on his shoes, and everybody that works with him does for a very long time.
Yeah. And that's a good analogy in what way, again? I'm not really following you, huh, Puddin'?
She's not.
No, it's just like that.
She needs to update her anecdotes.
Witness of the actions of this president of the United States. So completely inappropriate in so many ways
that
it's almost a given. It's like a child who comes in with mud on their pants or something. That's the way it is. They're outside playing. That's what he comes in with.
That's what they
doggy do on his shoes, and everybody who works with him has that on their shoes too.
Okay. So they were all out playing together in the same.
I don't know. The question
area,
was, is it appropriate for him and Joe Scarborough to be going after each other on Twitter? Yeah. Well, let me tell you about my doggy do analogy. I don't know if it fits here, but I'm going to tell it to you anyhow.
It's almost a given. It's almost a given. I don't know what
and I can't verify this, but I don't think that Calvin Coolidge ever brought doggy doo into the White House when he was president.
I don't know why you'd go back to that reference. There's been a lot of presidents in the.
I'm just saying. I wanted to point out that I'm pretty sure Calvin Coolidge.
Okay. Do you think Ronald Reagan would have? I don't.
Maybe, but that's not part of this analogy.
All right. I'm just getting all kinds of analogies right now that I don't really understand. Apparently, we do have Nancy Pelosi, though.
Whoa!
Who was called
Nancy
in.
Pelosi?
Yeah.
On line one?
Wow. Let's go to Nancy Pelosi now. Hey, Nancy.
Yes. Pat Gray.
Yes.
I have a. This is Michael Jack. I mean Nancy Pelosi. I have a Speaker of the House. I have a very important point to make here. Back when I decided to slaughter the economy after impeachment failed, something was lost on me. I completely forgot about the children, particularly the 12-year-old boy children. It's so completely inappropriate of me to forget. Me and my governor, Sorry, I think I have some crackers in my throat. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to call you back. I just blew my wig off into some doggy poo.
All right. Thank you, Nancy.
Oh,
wow,
boy.
that was nice.
Yeah. Because, Nancy Pelosi and Michael Jackson are apparently one and the same now, as we learned earlier this week.
Do we still have the side? I think we have the proof.
I think it was Monday we might have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring up the proof here in a minute.
But
when you see the side by side, you'll realize they're indistinguishable from one another.
Never seen them together.
That's true. That's true.
888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's go to Dan in Virginia. Hey, Dan, you're on the... wait a second. There they are. There's the two of them on the screen together. You tell me which is which. I don't know. I don't know.
You can't.
Oh, by the way,
one of them's Nancy Pelosi. One of them's Michael Jackson.
That's what you say.
And they both have doggy doo on their shoes. Those are the only two things I know.
And Michael Jackson was stumped last week when he was asked what his favorite word is, and the Pat heads on Twitter surmised that Michael Jackson's favorite word has to be shamon.
Has to be.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Or children, because I love the children.
Hey, look at that, y'all. Got it.
All right. Dan, welcome. You're on the Blaze.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hey. How we doing?
Doing good. You?
Well,
small talk.
I'm listening to you every day on the Pluto channel.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
250.
Talking about, but you talk about the mandatory vaccine.
Yeah.
And have you watch movies?
Do I watch movies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith?
I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay, they came up with the vaccine against cancer, I guess, and everybody became zombies within like a year.
Oh, wow. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so
right.
I don't want this mandatory vaccine.
Whoa, hey, all right,
okay.
Goodbye. Have a good
Thanks,
Friday,
Dan.
everybody.
You believe that?
Martin, you got
Bring
that?
down, hopefully. Okay.
I can't write.
Yeah, that's a word that that's an inside your head word right there, Dan. But thank you for it. 888-900-3393. Scott in Oklahoma, you're on the Blaze. Hi. Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
You there? Go ahead.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
I'm just wondering, what about the Murray Head Weekend? I mean, that used to be a regular on the Glenn Beck program. What happened to that?
What happened to the Murray Head Weekend? I think all the records skipped now, so we were not able to, and we couldn't find any new copies. But appreciate it. Thanks, Scott. I'm not sure what happened to the Murray. Remember when we used to do the it's a Murray Head Weekend all weekend long kind of thing.
I am disappointed that I wasn't invited to the party these last two callers have gone.
I know.
I should have been invited. Because whatever they partook in, I want to partake in that as well.
Really? And
yes.
go on the air? That might not be advisable, but okay. 888-900-3393. The Nation columnist Katha Pollitt claimed the other day, on Wednesday, that she would vote for presumptive 2020 Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden, even if, quote, he boiled babies and ate them. That's how much people hate this president.
That's no kidding.
I cannot believe that a rational person can grasp the disaster that is Donald Trump and withhold their support from Biden because of Tara Reade. I would say this even if I had no problems with Reed's account. I take women's accusations very seriously. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like it. But there have always been reasons to be skeptical about this one.
Wow.
She added, whether or not you believe Tara Reid, you should vote for Joe Biden, even if he is the nominee. We do not have the luxury of sitting out the election to feel morally pure or send a message about sexual assault and believe women. Hashtag believe women. That will not help women at all or anyone else. Man, these people are just so deranged.
I'm telling you, man. It's
so deranged.
It's a cult.
There's absolutely no rational thought there at all. Their hatred is completely all-consuming.
Seriously, their God is their hatred of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
Yes.
like, it doesn't matter. Like she just said, I don't care if he boils and eats babies. I'm voting for Biden.
And I think that's literally true.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, too.
They don't care. They do not care. When you think back to 2016, there actually were some Trump supporters like that as well. For instance, Ann Coulter, who said, I don't care if Donald Trump performs abortions in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
He's still my guy. So it's not limited to leftists, but it's unattractive from anybody. Can we come to that conclusion, perhaps? 888-900-3393.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
3-day weekend. Memorial Day on Monday already. The earliest it can possibly happen, May 25th. So we got that going for us. 888-900-3393. You know, based on the last few callers, maybe we should go through caller etiquette again sometime soon. So maybe about time again.
Don't call inebriated?
You know? Right. Yeah, don't call drunk. Drunk calling, drunk dialing, just not admissible. Also, we don't need how you doing, because I'm still doing the same. You know, we're all doing crappy right now. We understand that, right? Generally, we're all pretty crappy at the present time.
Yeah.
It's a general habit, though. People, that's something that you kind of overlook.
Yeah. How you doing? Thank you for taking my call. We don't need. That isn't.
Just get right to the point.
Get right to it.
Don't even tell us what you want to talk about.
All right. Just talk about it.
Boom. Get right into it.
Thank you for taking my call. How are you doing? I've got 4 points, and then I'm going to recite 2 soliloquies and 1 haiku, and then I'm going to sing 3 nursery rhymes.
Okay.
And then I'll hang up and listen to your answer on the phone, on the radio.
Okay, but are you going to mix in a joke?
Screener 3 points that I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
But it's important that you know that those points exist.
Right, and I want you to know that I was talking to your phone screener, too, and that's why I've mentioned your phone screener, despite the fact that nobody knows we had that conversation, so there's no reason to mention it. But I'm going to anyway.
All right, so all of those completely superfluous. Unnecessary. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where NASA Dwarf Not observes about the guy behind Joe Biden in his last video, outside his window that got into the frame. I'm with Keith. That guy is someone from Visiting Angels delivering Biden his word search and adult coloring books.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
From Corey Paw. Wait. This is concerning Aunt Becky and her husband.
Oh, yeah.
So the husband gets a sentence 2.5 times as long as the wife? Yeah, a little sexual discrimination there, huh? Huh? Yep. That's what is the thought process behind that, I wonder? I'll have to maybe look into that when the sentence actually does come down officially. DMXDM. That upcoming Full House / Prison Break crossover movie will be epic.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Nice.
When the Full House people break out of prison, that will be epic. I'm there for that episode. Dr. Diver 63, Aunt Becky could have gotten 40 years. It's not like she cut hair or something. Do you think she'll do real time, or will COVID allow them to do their time at home?
Oh, that's good.
Possible.
Yeah. It's good thinking.
Yeah, if you put Aunt Becky in prison when we're releasing actual criminals during COVID-19, something's really wrong there.
Yeah.
Piltdown Posse tweets, so Aunt Becky makes a quid pro quo plea deal for making a quid pro quo. Makes perfect sense.
2020 rolls on.
Yep. Yes, sir. Hey, SpaceX manned flight. Now, this is a little bit scary because I don't know how many SpaceX vehicles have blown up on the launch pad, but it's several. And so if I'm an astronaut who has been training for this mission and I'm getting aboard that SpaceX rocket, I'm a little nervous right now. But it's 5 days away now? I think we're 5 days away. The Crew Dragon space capsule made by Elon Musk's SpaceX faces a big final test when 2 astronauts get on board to fly to the International Space Station next week. We haven't had the capability to launch astronauts from U.S. soil since the last space shuttle mission in 2011. Now, since then, we've been space hitchhikers. We have to go to Kazakhstan and put out our thumbs and hope that the Russians stop by and take us into space with them. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing.
It's what Obama wanted.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, it is. And he got it. So congratulations. That was brilliant. A successful mission for Crew Dragon, which is to lift off atop a Falcon 9 rocket next Wednesday, will restore that capability and continue the nation's dominance in space, along with making several scientific advances from space exploration. The flight, called Demo 2, is designed to certify the Crew Dragon for regular ferry service of astronauts to the space station. Doug Hurley, who is one of the astronauts, said, I think it's an outstanding flying machine. I hope you're right, man. I really do. It is definitely not the space shuttle in many ways. It's much smaller, but it's a capsule. It's state-of-the-art from a technology standpoint. And let me ask this question. Why can't we make these things, I don't know, a little bit bigger? A little bit, have fat guy seating so that Jeffy.
Thank you. Amen. Pat, I love you.
A guy who's overweight.
Athletically.
Yeah, athletically, but overweight nonetheless.
We got it.
How is it that you can't go to space?
Wait, hold on.
I know.
You think it's fat guy seating that's keeping Jeffy from going to outer space?
Well, that and many other things, but I'm just saying for the purpose of this particular argument, let's make these capsules a little bit bigger.
They're making it smaller?
Can't we have a little comfort while we're flying to space? Why do we have to be so claustrophobic going into space?
Thank you.
It's weird, right?
It really is. It really is.
And every single capsule that's ever been designed is something you can just barely fit into as an adult human being.
I just got this note from Martin in the other room here. Of 86 SpaceX missions over the course of 13 years, so 86 launches, only 4 have failed.
Okay, but that's 4 out of 86.
The odds...
Not a lot, though.
NASA didn't have 4 blow up on the launch pad, did they?
How many do they have?
Let's look into that. How many Apollo flights blew up?
Where's Dylan?
We know one caught on fire.
I think they did. Yeah. I think the test at the beginning they did, yeah.
Hang on.
All right, we're looking.
I think if I remember right, NASA had 18.
I don't think you remember right. I don't.
Possible I misremember.
But
I'm with you on the seating.
Make it bigger.
We're making stuff bigger and more comfortable.
Make it bigger.
What are we making it smaller for? We have scientists building these rocket ships. Think a little spacious.
Thank you.
Think a little recliner-ish.
Right. Yes.
Let's go.
Just make it more comfortable for these people.
I want a big screen TV in there, too.
Yes. That would be helpful. Now, so you got at least something to do up there. But, okay, 4 out of 86 missions that failed. That's about 5%. Isn't that kind of a high rate? That seems like a lot. Now, if 5% is the rate of the COVID-19 deaths, then we're all even more panicked than we already are. So 5%, I don't know. That's a great track record.
Yeah. So let's see. If you just take the The fatalities. It's
I just
limited.
want to know rockets that blew up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Rockets that blew up, but I'm just finding.
Of course, we know 2 space
deaths.
shuttle flights, right?
Yeah.
Turned out badly, and 1 Apollo mission that burned up on the launch
Most
pad.
of these are training jet crashes. We've got a fire during a spacecraft test in 1967, obviously.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. We had a fire. No, it was Russia. Never mind. Who cares about
Russia's had a
them?
lot of disasters.
Yeah.
Russia's had many.
Most of these are just test flight crashes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Probably in the very beginning, right?
Let's see. Okay, hold on. I got another fun fact. Martin's awesome. In the 52 years since the beginning of American efforts to reach space, more than 160 launches, including that of the orbiting carbon observer, 24 have failed. On February 24th. What?
No, we're...
Translate. Turn your microphone on. Don't leave me out here hanging with this.
Way more than 52 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 52 years since we stopped the Apollo missions, almost.
Martin?
I'm reading it, and it's saying more than 160 launches since February 24th have failed.
Since February 24th, what year?
Okay. Just over time, 160 different launches have failed for NASA. But do we know how many times they've attempted?
I do not know.
7,827,000.
Where's Dylan? Dylan! Dylan's our space expert.
We've had 7 million attempts.
Yeah.
Over
well, that's
7
a good
million.
track record,
yeah,
then.
It's a really good track record.
Wow.
So
percentage is almost
shut
zero.
up. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just make the damn seats bigger.
Yes, that's all I'm asking. Just make it
All we
bigger,
want.
more comfortable. Give us luxury seating on these flights. Come on.
Put like a real bathroom in there, too. Am
Yes.
I right? Who's with me?
You're right. I'm with you.
I don't want drink service, too.
Right. Exactly. And then I'll be an astronaut. If if you're going to make it comfortable, I'll go up in that thing.
Okay.
But I can't do it if it's all claustrophobic and there's no fun to be had on the thing. I can't do it that way. 888-900-3393. Add Pat Unleashed on Twitter. What are you thinking of these COVID charges? These surcharges that are springing up. Now we've got this receipt, and we don't know from whence this receipt comes. So, I don't know. Somebody could have even made it up.
Oh.
But they had a subtotal of $50.47 in whatever they were buying. Maybe it was a restaurant. Maybe it was clothing. I don't know. And then right underneath the subtotal, as you see there, is the COVID surcharge of $7.57.
Nope.
Wow.
Under that is a tax of $5.27. So for something that should have cost $50, you're paying $63.31. No, thank you.
Nope.
No, thank you. $7.57 COVID surcharge?
That ain't happening. No.
Unacceptable. Sorry. Unacceptable.
Yeah.
Is that everybody trying to recoup their losses, I guess, during this time, though?
So.
I mean, when does that come off, then, if that's the case? I don't know. We have to have a talk, America. We have to have a talk and straighten some of these things out. All right? COVID surcharges? No. Teeny little spacecrafts? No.
What else? Let's make a wish list.
Okay.
Let's start working on this thing.
I'm going to. Yes, we're going to work on this because we can make this country better. We're going to make this country great again.
We're going to take this country back to 2019. I mean, that's it. You talk about being Overton windowed.
Simpler times.
I'll take
man.
2019, please.
Good times. Remember 2019?
Oh, those were good times.
Good times. 888-900-3393. Let's go to Carl in Michigan. Hey, Carl, you're on the Blaze.
I want to talk about Biden. You know what? In my opinion, there's no way that the Democrats are going to let him have a debate with Trump, and they're going to blame this on Trump. And the other thing is if they by chance do have a debate, I can't wait to see Saturday Night Live skits, man. It's going to be hysterical.
Yes, but I think Saturday Night Live will ignore every mistake by Joe Biden and just focus on Trump mistakes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Carl. I hope there are debates. Can you imagine a debate between Trump and Biden right now? He is completely incapable of that.
I think about this. 3 years ago, we thought, boy, that'd be a street brawl. They might actually come to blows on stage. Now it's like...
Not now. It's almost like it's not even a fair match now.
Right.
Chris in New York, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Yeah, it is a cult, guys. The liberal left, it's a cult, man. And you can tell because you can't question it. That's how you can tell if it's a cult. You get kicked out immediately, canceled, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you about Home Title Lock. Health and safety is on top of everybody's mind right now. No matter what happens, you want to make sure your loved ones are protected. This is why LegalZoom continues to provide a reliable way for everyone to set up the right estate plan without leaving your home. It starts with finding the answers to your questions. If you need a last will and testament or a living trust, maybe you need advanced healthcare directives. What about a power of attorney? Thankfully, you don't have to figure everything out on your own. LegalZoom is there. Their online resources make it easy to get started. And if you need to speak to an attorney, their independent attorney network is there to guide and advise you. LegalZoom isn't a law firm, so you don't have to worry about expensive billable hours adding up. Take an important step for your family today. Go to LegalZoom.com to get started on a last will, a living trust, or virtually anything that is legal in nature. And make sure you enter the promo code UNLEASHED at checkout for special savings. LegalZoom.com, promo code UNLEASHED. LegalZoom, where life meets legal. Thank you for being here as well. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Nick Ryan tweets, watching Keith attempt to write the number 5 upside down is all I need on a Friday.
Yeah, that was quite a challenge. The 2 and the 5 are difficult.
What did it take you? 45 minutes? Something like that?
Oh, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a while.
Cow on the Roof tweets, don't forget all callers should say long-time listener, first-time caller.
No.
No, they should not.
That's on the other side of the list.
William Farrell tweets, Trump tells The Who, we won't get fooled again. No. Yeah. See, The Who.
Yeah, we get it.
It's the World Health Organization, but it's also a rock band named The Who did a song called We Won't Get Fooled Again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
in other words,
joke.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, we won't get fooled again. No. Real Tyler Morgan tweets, I will still ask how you're doing because I care. Not just making small talk here. That's precious and sweet.
Nice guy.
Tampa Ken. So does Jeffy do a COVID, Ebola, syphilis, chlamydia surcharge at his store?
Well, do you?
Do you, Jeffy?
And do you roll it up into one?
What are these stores supposed to do, though? Really? I mean, if they're being told they can only allow so many customers in, right? If you're specifically restaurants, you're being told or ordered that you can only allow so many people in. They've got to recoup their money somehow.
Yeah.
How are they?
You know what you do? You know what you do? You do a lawsuit against your governor for these illegal actions. Don't take it out on us. We're trying to keep you in business, man. We're not the ones that had this edict telling you to shut your doors. Take it up with them.
Okay, I'll just
what he said. What he said.
Okay.
Well, so in other words, you do have surcharges at your store where you're charging everybody.
And like I said, do you list each individual infection, or is it just one infection charge?
I just tack it onto the cost of the product.
Oh, roll it in there. We don't even
say anything about it.
If you say something about it, somebody gets nosy like you.
It's probably a good idea, Jeffy. Just don't say anything. Just raise the price of your stuff.
Just raise the price. Wow, that's expensive. Yeah,
I know. So
what are you gonna do?
Don't buy it then. Which is great customer service, by the way.
Thank
your product is really kind of expensive. Yeah, well, don't buy it then.
Take it up with the governor.
Go ask somebody who cares about it. I don't. Okay.
Can I get a receipt? Maybe from somebody else. Okay.
All right, 888-933-93. We got Court in Texas. Hey, Court, you're on the Blaze.
Oh, first of all, you're talking about the phone callers messing up. One of your call holders guys left me on hold, and I played that trick last time, and it left me on hold till the show ended.
Oh, no. Don't say that,
I'm getting that off my chest now. We all mess up. We're human.
All right.
Jesus is the only one who would have made the perfect call.
That's very true. Mm-hmm.
But I was going to ask y'all's opinion. I was talking to Will Kane. Not talking to Will Kane. Listen to Will Kane podcast. I was going to ask what y'all thought about the new onside kick. Get 4th and 15 from the 20. Since we didn't have any football talk yet. So
it's just a proposal, right? So far, they're considering instead of appreciate it. Thanks, Court. Because they've changed the rules on the onside kick so much. It's almost impossible to do an onside kick now.
Yes.
So what they're proposing instead is if you want to try to get the ball back after you've scored a touchdown, you can get the ball at your own 25, right? Is it 20 or 25?
Your own 25-yard line would be 4th
and then it'd
15.
be 4th and 15. So if you don't make it to the 40, the other team takes over right there. Mm-hmm. If you do, then you keep the ball, obviously. I
kind of like that.
I kind of like it, too. I think it might be fun. Either that or go back to the old rules on the onside kick.
Yeah, they don't want you getting a running start and all that stuff.
It's asinine.
It's stupid,
It's asinine.
And in fact, Thanksgiving night, though, the Falcons against the Saints, they got 3 consecutive onside kick recoveries. Technically 4, but they threw a penalty.
Last year?
Yeah, this last Thanksgiving night.
Did they really?
3 in a row. Yeah, I know everyone had tuned out.
That's like impossible.
Yeah, we were all passed out from turkey. I got it. The game was a blowout, but the Falcons got 3. Like I said, should have been 4. But this rule is gaining momentum about the 4th and 15 from the 25. And also something they're considering is what they're going to call a sky judge, which would be another official up in the press box, essentially, kind of overseeing, making sure nothing was missed. So that's also getting some traction as well. So, yeah.
A sky judge.
Sky judge.
I mean, we kind of have that now with the cameras that are, that are rolling over the top of the field. Yeah. So I don't know that we need to add another official. We just need, they have that camera view already.
Well, we're adding jobs, trying to help the economy in the post-COVID-19 era, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
And we're adding a COVID surcharge to every fan's ticket. So.
Believe me, that's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to JP in Utah. JP, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, Pat.
Hey.
I watched the Joe Biden video with all its flaws, and of course, it's mock-worthy. I'm not going to say that it's not, but the point that everyone's missing with mocking him is what he's saying, where he says you can't expect small businesses to open if you're sitting on the money. Well, if you open the small businesses, they don't need the money from the government. Isn't that the point?
Yes. Yes, that is a good point. There are so many points to be made in that video that you can't make them all in one sitting.
Right.
you bring up another really good one. Thanks, JP. That may be the quintessential point right there.
Right.
I know.
But that one video clip has more in it than any clip we've ever played. There's like 5 or 6 different things to take away from that. And by the way, you mentioned there's probably going to be a COVID charge for these NFL games. When are airlines going to add that? Because remember, we're still paying that $15 a flight from 9/11 20 years later.
Jeez.
They're going to add COVID. It's going to be more charges than it's going to be like a hotel before we're said and done.
And they're getting bailouts from the government. So not only are they passing charges along to us, but they're also they're screwing us every which way. Just
to be clear, they haven't added the COVID-19 charge, but it's coming. It'll be a part of a ticket.
But the 9/11 charge.
Oh yeah, the 9/11 charge
still there.
Is absolutely still there.
Still there. I mean, come on.
Can we get a Wright brothers charge on there? I mean, seriously. I mean, what's left?
Just that, I guess.
Yep.
Just that. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We have this great video. If Chick-fil-A had home delivery, we got to get to that because Chick-fil-A has really good customer service. It's a great company.
My pleasure.
And so somebody has done. What if Chick-fil-A had home delivery? How would that go? We'll show you that in just a second. But also, yesterday we talked about the woman who thinks. Well, really a man who is now a woman who believes he or she, it's a deer. He identifies as a deer and prances around eating grass.
Oh.
Some fun videos of that person, of them, I guess. I'm not sure what their personal pronoun is.
I'm like 3 steps behind here.
But we'll try to work it all out coming up. Next. Have you with us? 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Libertarian Ninja tweets. It's either the COVID surcharge or increased menu prices. The cost of food has increased dramatically. Restaurants have to pay that too. Okay, well,
take it up with your governor.
Yeah.
Jeffy's space travel agent. Stop making excuses for Jeffy. If he really wants to travel into space, he can buy 2 seats.
Oh no.
And they're just $200,000 a piece. So
that's it, though. That's it.
Not a big deal, right? Just buy a couple of seats. People
I
ask.
hope that they would throw in the extension to the seatbelt too. So throw that in.
People ask, how's he going to afford it? And he just does. You just do. That's all. No big deal.
Whatever.
Exactly. Thank you. 888-900-3393. We're telling you about this Chick-fil-A video. What if they had home delivery? Here's what would happen.
Hello, here's your food. Sorry that we're 5 seconds late, so I went ahead and brought my manager.
You didn't have to do that. How you doing, sir? Like he said, we're terribly sorry for the inconvenience. So I went ahead and got you a complimentary Apple Watch to go with your meal.
An Apple Watch for being 5 seconds late?
My pleasure. We seen that your car needed a little bit of washing, so we went ahead and got somebody on that.
Thank you.
And your grass was a little bit higher than average, so we went ahead and got somebody to mow that too. Hope that's not a problem.
Not at all, not at all.
Okay, and just in case there's more than just you in the house, we went ahead and got you 4 extra meals too.
What? Thank you.
Anything else you might need? Any condiments, a hug, a handshake, anything like that?
Sauces.
Sauces? Man, somebody bring the damn sauces! We got barbecue. We have ranch, Chick-fil-A sauce.
Just 2 ranches of this.
2 ranches? No, don't be modest. Grab a little bit more than that. Man, pick the damn sauces up! Get out of here!
I think that's it, sir.
That's it? Okay. Well, do you watch the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary by any chance?
I do, actually.
Oh, well, we knew that. So we went ahead and got you some Jordans for that.
Are those the Year of the Rabbits?
Yes, the Year of the Rabbits. And they're size 11, just in case. Is that your size?
That's my perfect size. How'd you know?
Oh, well, we looked you up on Facebook and make sure. We bought all sizes. We bought 8, 9, 10, anything like that.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure.
Y'all have a nice day.
You too. Oh, wait, before you go, sir, we'll be out here for an extra hour just in case you need any refills, napkins, anything like that.
Thank you. Y'all have a nice day, man. For real.
That is so good. Oh no, that manager is yelling at the employee now, so that's not going so well. That was so funny.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We also have one from Ami Horowitz about believing all women. Because all women should be believed. They all have a right to be believed. Am I right?
Yeah.
If they claim sexual assault, abuse, rape, whatever, you just automatically believe the woman.
And one of the themes of this morning's show has been the Democratic Party is a cult. I mean, their hatred for Trump is what motivates them and animates them. And this perfect illustration what Ami Horowitz did here.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm back in the East Village. Believe all women has been the mantra of the left since the Kavanaugh hearings. But do they really believe that? How important is it to believe women?
I think it's very important.
Very.
It's totally, you believe men, why don't you believe women? Same thing. It's important. What's this? Yes.
Well, of course, we should believe women.
It's important.
Duh.
Yeah.
And it will always be important.
I'm someone who was sexually assaulted, and it happened in high school, and I was told not to do anything about it because the guy was the star soccer player in high school. Nobody would believe me.
Absolutely important. No one believed me. I did 35 years in jail for killing my abuser. So I have very strong feelings.
Tara Reid, she's the one who's accusing Joe Biden of sexual assault. Do you believe her?
I think she's an employee of Trump. I think she's despicable.
Do you guys believe Tara Reid?
Oh my gosh.
The allegations?
No. No.
Do you believe her allegations?
No, not really. I don't believe her. The timing is also very bizarre. So
With Tara Reid, it just doesn't seem as credible.
I personally don't know why she's coming out now.
She should have spoken up earlier, and we need Biden.
27 years ago? I remember 27 years ago.
Joe Biden, to be fair, he doesn't remember what he had for breakfast today.
I actually have the best memory.
Going back to the Brett Kavanaugh, I thought she was very credible.
Can you explain to us, to the audience, kind of the difference between Tara Reid's allegations and the allegations of Christine Blasey Ford of the
I don't know, but I recall, since my memory is so to specifically say.
I actually have the best memory.
Biden's not going around saying, I love beer. And I don't know if you saw Kavanaugh talk, but that was just frightening, to say the least.
He loved beer. That's crazy. Hashtag believe all women. Good, thank you.
Hey, have a good one. Bye. Thank you.
Yeah,
Believe all
except
women.
one.
These guys.
Believe all women.
Take care of yourself.
I mean, that is...
Wow.
What do you say about that? It's just, wow. What hypocrisy. What... it's just... That's why we're in such a situation right now. That's why we can't get along with each other. Because basic human decency doesn't exist. Are you kidding me? You believe all women? Well, unless they're saying something about somebody I want to vote for. Well, then they're completely not credible.
She works for Trump.
That is incredible.
Another takeaway from that video is the masks are quite a fashion statement.
Aren't they, though? Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Jeez.
Oof. Man.
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's go to Brian in Michigan. Hey, Brian, you're on the Blaze.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Hey, I want to get your opinion on something. First, let me preface this by saying I'll be 60 in December, and I had a heart attack a little over 11 years ago. And I just got back results of an antibodies test that I had through Quest Diagnostics, which you can just make an appointment and walk in and get. You don't even need a doctor's script for it. And I came back positive for COVID.
Oh, wow. Did you really?
I got the antibodies. Yeah, I got the antibodies. And I know when I had it, it was when I was misdiagnosed in mid-March with bronchitis.
Wow. And how sick were you?
Had a on again, off again nominal fever.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Really?
I had it for about 3 weeks, but the time I went to the doctor to get tested for COVID, I didn't have a fever, so they didn't test me. They gave me antibiotics, said you got bronchitis, went home, took the antibiotics, got better. Never thought anything about it until both my brother-in-law and sister decided they were going to get tested for the antibodies, and they both came up positive.
So you weren't injected. You weren't injected with disinfectants or anything. You just
no. But my question to you is, where do we lie in their numbers? What are they? Where do even our cases get posted anywhere?
Do our cases in where?
No, do our cases. My number does my case as being positive for the antibodies and of having COVID.
No,
is that going to go?
Not. I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Not so far.
Yeah, not that I know of.
Yeah, because it would hurt their agenda.
Yes, it would. It really would. You must be pretty pleased with that, though, because you got the antibodies now, and you've already been through it, and so you should be a lot safer than other people. You would think, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna carry this around in my wallet because if people want to confront me about anything, hey, I already had it.
Right, got the antibodies.
My get out of jail free car.
Yeah, I like it. All right, thanks, Brian. That's amazing. How many people are like that too? Thousands, millions? I don't know. Who knows?
Yep.
888-900-3393. Gretchen in Kentucky. You're on the Blaze.
Hey, Pat.
Hey.
So I called you and told you I didn't like McBevin.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you the reason I don't like it. So from the beginning, when he ran for Senate and he came to my part of Kentucky, I was there. There were like 10 of us, and me and 4 kids were part of the 10.
Mm-hmm.
He was 45 minutes late, never apologized, never said a word. I ended up leaving as he was pulling in the parking lot. But I was still upset when he didn't win Senate. I was elated when he won the governorship. But from the moment he took office, he tried to be a mini Trump. And, of course, you know, the pension system is failing, and he tried to fix that. Well, he went after the teachers, insulted them on a daily basis, told them that the reason that kids were dying was because they weren't at school because some of them had gone on strike and they weren't in school, and that was killing kids.
What?
He was just
not going to school. How was that killing kids?
He said because they were home getting abused and not eating, it was the teacher's fault the kids were dying. He came back and apologized for it, but it didn't change what he did.
Mm.
He went to Florida and got a couple from Florida, paid them $800,000 to give advice on Kentucky's foster care system because he adopted and he was a foster parent. So he paid them $800,000. I would have done it for free.
Could have saved the state a lot of money. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Gretchen. I don't know. I'd have to research those particular issues because, as I said when I mentioned the fact that we loved Matt Bevin when he was running, I didn't follow his gubernatorial campaign or his governorship that closely. 888-900-3393.
I mean, but it worked out for Kentucky. They got that.
Yeah,
Andy
they got
Beshear
Andy
guy,
Beshear.
So that's good.
Who's so much better.
Right? He's really good in a time of crisis.
Much better.
I mean, he's.
I bet you he shows up on time.
Right?
So
he shows up on time to arrest people for opening their businesses.
Or church, yeah.
Or,
Right.
shutting down churches. That's good. So you got that going for you in Kentucky. But yeah, I don't know. He's, based on what I know and knew of Matt Bevin, much better alternative than this guy. But, again, I didn't live through him as governor of the great state of Kentucky. 888-900-3393. Rolling Stone founder Jan Wenner is still chairman of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
No, announced that he will retire as chairman, but is still on the board.
Yeah.
Is that what we're finding out?
Okay, so we
remain
were
on the board of
discussing,
directors.
And I told you guys, I think he's still hanging around. Well, Kara 3022 sent us this old article from a couple years ago that confirms that.
Right.
And here you go.
Yeah, this was from when we said, hey, okay, the person who hates foreigner is stepping down. Yeah, but they're still on the board. Just not the chairman anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Wenner, retired as chairman. Current Rock Hall member John Sykes will take over as chairman, but Wenner will remain on the board of directors. Now, whether or not Jan Wenner has the power to keep foreigner out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame from the board, I don't know, but we will see. This will be the first year that Jan Wenner has just been on the board rather than chairman.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Matt Bevin can take over at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Hey. What is he doing these days?
Have we thought of that? I don't know. I don't know. He's doing anything. He's probably just sheltering in place right now.
He's probably teaching.
Also, scientists have made a mouse now that is 4% human. You see that? Did you read about that in the paper today? You see that, Kevin? Did you read about that? Apparently, scientists have created a human-mouse hybrid.
That is crazy, Jay. Wow, a mouse? Like a human mouse?
A human mouse.
Not like it can't read. It's fine.
That's pathetic. It can't even read?
Oh, breed.
Oh, breed. Oh, okay. I thought you said the mouse can't read. Well, if it can't read, what good is mixing human DNA with it then?
I wish I would have said he can't read.
What a dumb mouse.
What a stupid mouse. I mean, first graders can read.
Back to the lab with you.
He's part human and he can't read. What an idiot.
You might as well just slaughter this mouse like we kill all mice, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
While the embryos showed traces of human cells in most kinds of tissue, including the heart and liver, their germline tissue, which goes on to become, sperm or eggs, great, contain none. Right, that's why they can't breed, right? They can't
read.
Or read.
Again, stupid mouse.
Again, just let him die.
Hey, do you want
Poison
some of
them
these yummy? I couldn't wait. I'm sorry, man. But Texas Spy Girl sent us these Sour Patch Chips Ahoy cookies. I would share them with you, Jeffy, but unfortunately, you're not in house yet. Do you want? I mean, these are good, dude. You wanna try them?
Sure.
You wanna try them? Okay. What's your verdict? Because I've tried them. Here we go. We got Sour Patch. Chips Ahoy cookies from Texas Spy Girl. Thank you for sending them.
Too bad you're not here, Jeffy.
Yeah, it's just too bad.
I know, it's disappointing.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Yeah, they are.
That's really good.
Go with those or anything?
What's that?
Got any milk to go with those or anything?
Milk? No, no milk. You don't need milk with these.
They're very, very sweet.
Really good.
Mm-hmm. They're yummy.
I mean, I'm a fan of the Sour Patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you are.
You want me to save them for you?
Again, it's too bad you're not here.
Save them.
We got a human-mouse hybrid, though, that came in wants some. So we're gonna share him with the human-mouse hybrid.
He might actually use that 4% and form a sentence and ask for him.
This stupid thing can't read, though.
But he can't read.
It said enter, and it didn't at first. Somebody had to open the door for it. What a moron.
What a dumb mouse. Oh, not impressed at all with this hybrid, by the way. Tell you, back to the drawing.
Now we've got a human deer hybrid, which is even more exciting. Right? Did you see this person?
I most definitely.
Did you read about it in the paper?
You read about this? Did you see this in the paper today? Jeffy, did you see it?
She identifies as a deer.
She identifies as a deer. Yeah. Okay. She was a he.
Or, trans woman. Ferociously Steph.
She was a he who transitioned to a woman, but now the woman identifies as a deer.
In other words, it wasn't enough to just identify as a woman.
As a woman, right.
We got to identify.
Now it's a doe, a deer, as Glenn said yesterday on his show, a female deer.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Is she a female deer, or a male deer?
Female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. The Twitch Safety Advisory Council announced featuring professionals alongside selection of streamers.
Yeah.
And one of these members is saying she's already receiving waves of harassment.
That's her.
No.
Yeah, that's him.
No.
Her, deer.
Don't say that.
Oh, dear.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
So Twitch hasn't Twitch appointed this person?
Yeah, she's in charge.
As being in charge of people who
are mean.
And she
don't challenge the deer.
Yeah. Okay. Let's play some of those. Some of her videos that
those are some tweets from some bad heads we had mentioned in the show.
In charge is tough. In charge is a tough call. She's on a safety advisory council.
Oh, my bad. She's just on the council.
Okay. And that's like she's like a crossing guard, and now she's got this power.
Yeah,
because she's on this safety advisory council.
Well, it's kind of like what Twitter is doing to a lot of people who they disagree with. If Twitter people disagree with you, you're just shut down. And apparently Twitch is doing the same thing with this deer person.
And she definitely believes in that. No question.
Check out some of what she had to say about being a deer.
I'm just not cool with white supremacy, y'all. It's really not that. I think a lot of you gamers are actually white supremacists. Sorry. Just a fact of how I feel.
Yeah, just how I feel.
What an idiot. It's a fact of how she feels.
Yeah, it's a fact of how she feels. And that's what her deal is, right? She believed she wanted to shut down the voice interaction during the games. And that was her big deal. And her original idea was that because it was too distracting. But really, she got sick of people giving her a hard time. And since the people giving her a hard time, she believes are,
they're all white supremacists?
White supremacists. Correct. But she wants to shut that down. Right.
What a world.
So because she's so inclusive, we're going to shut everything down.
Okay. That's great. She had more to say, though, and here it is.
So in my spare time, I go out to my yard. And I prance around.
You prance around.
And I eat grass.
You eat grass.
And I just watch it because it helps me feel like in tune with my dear self.
Oh, like with your dear self. I see. And then somebody comes up and
thank you.
Gives her a big hug. Isn't that beautiful? This is beautiful. A little kiss on the cheeky. That's nice. And we're just supposed to say, okay, yeah, that's completely normal.
I feel like it just
that's not a problem.
It just can't. It can't be real. I think we're being had.
As human beings, we're supposed to say, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. What?
I know.
It's impossible. It's impossible to look at that and say, yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's completely normal. No, it isn't. Stop it.
It's impossible for you white,
obviously a person.
Christian male.
This has nothing to do with being white. It has to do with somebody who needs mental health help. Mental health help. Seriously, somebody help that person. You can't just laugh and mock and look the other way and say, yep, okay, well, that's her. She just wants to be a deer. So if she wants to be a deer, let her be a deer. No, that's not normal. That's not healthy.
How does Twitch handle it?
Wow,
though? I mean, in
I don't
today's
know.
world, if you're Twitch, you've already put her on this council. You've given what she, he, it, doe, a deer is saying is her power.
Yeah.
And now who at Twitch sits doe, a deer down and say, yo, take your antlers and go home for a little while.
Yeah,
Well, care.
Go to the doctor's office for a little while. Seriously.
Oh, how I pine
Obviously.
for 2019. Does Twitch provide a forest?
We had trans species in 2019.
Jeffy's 18 Spoons tweets about the doe, the deer, the female deer. America 2019. At least we don't have a deer censoring our speech. America 2020. We have to stop saying things. It's perfect. That is absolute perfection. Sarah Watson, does she ID as a deer during hunting season? Because that could be dangerous. I joked with a friend that I should ID as a dog so I can travel with him as an emotional support animal. You know somebody's going to try it eventually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Whether as a joke or a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, we had the guy take his goldfish out for a walk, right? And the police were pissed at him for doing it. But that was a smart move.
We got this from I'm a Irkin Butter.
I'm a lickin' butter?
I'm a lickin' butter? Oh, okay, that wasn't a you. I see.
Whoa, easy.
I'm a lickin' butter. If I identify as a grizzly bear, can I eat someone legally who identifies as a deer?
That's good. Good stuff.
Some thought has gone into these tweets. I like that. These are thinking people's tweets. Ted Groves tweets, it's not trans species. You mean to say people with severe mental disorders, that's for sure. I mean, it is. Yeah. That's just, it's really sad. It's really sad. The person needs help, and you can't even say that now. And I don't know that a mental professional would say that person needs help because all this stuff is completely normal. The trans anything is completely fine now. It's not any kind of mental disease. It's not a mental disorder. You're just fine if you have one of these things.
Yep.
Well, we've got to say enough of that, okay? We have to help people who are in that situation. It is not normal to identify as a deer when you're a human being.
So who do you think had more common sense? The dude chick that identifies as a deer or someone like, say, Gadon the American who runs off to join the Taliban in a time of war? Who do you think would be?
Pull every last one of your soldiers, spies, security advisors, trainers, attaches, and so on, out of every Muslim land
from Afghanistan to Zanzibar. At the Copacabana. Yeah, I'm done. It was a little late on the tambourine. A little late. All right. So there it is. Your entire week of Pad Gray isms.
Yep.
Come to a screeching halt.
And
now.
if you don't have bingo by now, you're definitely not paying attention.
Yeah.
I just like to point out that there was bingo earlier in the show and nobody got it. So,
well, they got the wrong ones. They kept calling them with the wrong bingo.
I mean, I didn't just bring up Calvin Coolidge trekking doggy poo into the White House for no reason.
888-900-3393, the number to call. All right, we'll see you Tuesday morning.
Now.
Have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.